Hello everybody and welcome to a new video today. My name is Bailey and I'm here to showcase you the Vanguard build today, the Jiu-Jitsu class, the Vanguard. Talk about the strengths and weaknesses of it and see how you might implement it into your own game. Now there's a lot of stuff you can do with the Vanguard. Unfortunately, if you're talking about the best of the best high level, it's not all as super effective. Spin kicks, etc. are very good, but not really something you want to necessarily throw in a high level fight. So we're going to have a little look at what's viable, what's optimal, and what you actually have access to as well. So we'll take a look as always with the perks first. Wake up call, just a nice quick easy perk here. Can help against flash knockouts, etc. If you do get rocked by throwing some spinny stuff, it's nice to have the wake up call to help recover from that. Skirmisher definitely helps. You want to be moving backwards to create space for your kicks because your kicks are your primary weapons on the feet. Now you want to be careful throwing them. Definitely do need to use your boxing as well because you can't kick from every range, but Skirmisher does help you set up that distance for those kicks. Taekwondo for your spin kicks, being faster and more accurate. This is very helpful. There's a lot of cool things you can do with this build. You know, you can be very Zabit like. You can throw roundhouses into spin kicks and whiffed kicks into spin kicks and things like that. So the Taekwondo helps get that rear body kick off and the wheel kick off a bit faster as well. Nightmare, which boosts your grapple defense. Not many people are going to be initiating takedowns on you when you're playing as Vanguard, so it doesn't really help much. You probably will end up on your back a lot after failed submission attempts, but again, not many people are going to be pushing the action, but it does boost your grapple defense, which also means, you know, your bottom game gets a little better. Crafty submissions, it defense in bottom positions. That's good. Okay, that helps against wrestlers and other jiu-jitsu builds, but ultimately it's not really an aggressive perk. It's more of a defensive one, and one that won't necessarily serve you as well as maybe as some of the others. So Skirmish is great for all round, you know, on the feet, keeping the distance. Taekwondo's okay for some offensive, but apart from that, you don't have a lot of offensively minded perks here. Very defensive build, hence the name Vanguard. Stand up, 3.5 star, not great. You have 2.5 star punch speed, 2.5 star punch power. Obviously, that's terrible. One of the lowest. You can't rely on those punches and headshots to finish the fight. Maybe you can outpoint your opponent, but the likelihood of actually knocking them out is going to be pretty minimal. So you can't really rely on that as a method to ending the fight. You got to look at your keys to victory. Punches to the head is not one of them. Blocking, accuracy, head movement, footwork, okay, not too bad. Footwork's 3.5, but apart from that, again, not great. Switch stance, you probably might need it depending on what side of the cage you're on and where you want to throw your spin kicks from. Kick power, kick speed. Now this is good-ish. 3.5 is not bad. The good thing about the spin kicks is they are high value, high damage kicks, and if you time them well, they do a lot of damage anyway, so your power doesn't have to be so high with them. And the speed helps a bit, but obviously this is not as good as other striking classes. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what you can do on the feet as Vanguard and how you can mix things up and how you can get a little crazy. But ultimately, the longer you stay on the feet, the better chance there is of you losing the fight. I know you want to like do some cool stuff with Vanguard, okay, that's fine, but the way to win is to take them to the ground and submit them or get them from standing. So I'll show some of the stand up as well, but there we are. Takedowns, 3 star, gonna make that a bit harder to actually get those takedowns. I found shooting single legs after backing people up with push kicks and spinning kicks is the best tactic for me, at least. Top game for 4 star, that's pretty good. Submission offense, 4.5 star, fantastic. And bottom game, 4.5 stars. So top, bottom, wherever you go, you have sweeps, you have submissions, you have the ability to completely troll the fight on the ground. Your ground striking is 3.5 star as well. You can definitely get fights finished with ground and pound after some continuous control. But I just like to attack submissions with the Vanguard. It puts people in a scared position, and you can just keep cooking them over and over again. But we'll talk about that once we get in the fight. 3.5 star cardio is not great, and then 3.5 star chin and legs, recovery, and body strength. So your health stats, it comes in at a 4.5 star overall. I don't really know why, because you don't have a single 4-star health stat. You got 4.5 star grappling, that makes sense. You got 4.5 star bottom, 4.5 star submissions, good top game, but 4.5 star health, I don't know why, because you don't have a single health thing over 4 stars. Very average all across the board. You can't take the fighting to deep waters. You're just going to be pretty standard there. So there we go. Those are the perks. Those are the basic stats. Let's have a look at some of the moves. Now, first of all of your punches are 1 star. Trading boxing combinations is not something you want to do. You've got spinning back fists, but I wouldn't even recommend throwing them. It's going to be a bit too dangerous. So on the feet, yeah, okay, you can keep it fundamental and maybe outpoint a little bit, but ultimately you're going to be at a disadvantage. If you land 5 jabs, the person might land, you know, 1 jab, which did more damage. I don't know. Kicks, here we go. This is what you want to be using with your Vanguard. And not exclusively, not to say you can sit and blast leg kicks or body roundhouses at people. That's not going to work. But you do have a lot of tricky things. The lead body side kick. Now, this is great for technique for keeping distance, but it also sets up spin kicks, head kicks, all kinds of things. So the lead body side kick is going to be your friend for sure. You've got front kicks. Hook kicks aren't great, but they can be comboed into. So you can go 1-2 hook kick. You can go straight lead uppercut hook kick. So it's kind of a cheeky little thing on the end, especially if when you start the combination, they've fallen out of range. You can tag that on the end and catch people drifting. The lead side leg kick, again, I wouldn't recommend you sit and commit to any of these leg kicks, even the side kick and stuff. I mean, maybe you throw it out there once or twice a fight if they're right on the end of punches and they're waiting for you to step in. Body knees, not great still. The hand plant roundhouse is your only 3-star striking technique. Now, it is 3 stars and it's good. Throw it once or twice, but you can't combo into it. You can't go sidekick into the hand plant roundhouse. You can't throw punches into the hand plant roundhouse. So it's not always the easiest thing or necessarily an advisable thing to do. Body spinning side kick, this is great as well. You can jab into it, you can throw the lead head kick into it, you can throw the side kick into it, you can throw the lead body roundhouse into it. Lots of stuff you can throw into the body spinning side kick. Not a very high level move, but it is something you can combo into cartwheel kicks and things like this. I would maybe keep these, and sorry for my dog by the way, I would maybe keep these in your back pocket if you feel like there's an opportunity to land and use them, but chances are it's not going to be the case. Moving on to the clinch, striking 2 stars could be worse. Knees come in at 3, so if you are striking in the clinch, knees definitely the way to go, head and body and legs. And your tie clinch initiation or your elite collar is only 2 stars, so it's not great, but you will want to grab the clinch because obviously your key to victory, if I don't have to repeat it, is to get the fight to the mat and tap them. Using the clinch is a great way to do that. You also have a lot of standing submissions that I'll go over. You won't really find that's a problem as long as you're maintaining and keeping distance correctly. People are going to want to close a distance on you if you throw enough kicks, which sets up the clinch quite nicely. Takedowns, you got 3-star across the board. You only had 3-star takedowns, but these are fairly decent, as well as trips, judo takedowns, all kinds of things. You're coming in at 3-star, so you will have the Otsogari trip as well. There it is from standing. If you can snap it in and get it working for you, practice that one. Groundwork, this is where everything gets pretty serious. 4-star get-ups, 4-star transitions, which really sets up a lot of stuff. You've got half guard to side control. You've got back mount to back sick. Full guard postured up to side control. I mean, these are nice. These are little transitions here. You've also got rubber guard transition because you're level 4, so you have the rubber guard. You can go stacked to sprawl. You can go side control. Well, side saddle, same thing, but the half guard smash as well is always nice. The tower knee bar counter. You gotta look out for that one when you're being stacked as well, but only if you're being knee barred. Again, 4-star, what is it? Ground transitions gives you rubber guard, which is nice. BJJ reversals, these are nice just to hit and tap. You'll just get these dynamically, although these are all high level. Sweeps are good. It does mean you can get the full guard sweeps. Full mount to full guard, you've got full guard, bottom full guard to back sit arm drag, all kinds of good sweeps from your full guard here. You've got the feet on the hook, the feet on the hips sweep over the top to full mount as well, which is L1 and down. And then you're striking on the ground, not too bad either. So keys to victory, ground and pound is definitely there. Submissions all across the board, 3 stars apart from leg locks and unorthodox chokes as well. It's leg chokes too, right? Leg chokes too. So chokes are 4 stars. You do have 4-star leg locks as well. The only place to really hit leg locks from, people keep asking me all the time. You've got a guard top. Obviously, there's the Imanari roll being shown there. Full mount bottom. You can hit one from here if someone's mounting you. It's nice because it just gives you an extra avenue to try and get out of that position. Once you stack someone, you can hit the heel hook. Half guard top postured up, you can hit that knee bar. Stacked guard, there's a knee bar. You've also got the counter knee bar. The Imanari heel hook finish there as well if you want to roll into it. and the rolling a knee bar from your back as well. Don't forget about that. So a couple of tough spots you can be put into that you can then attack submissions from. Hey, if you fail, if you end up on your back, it doesn't matter. At least you're probably out of that position. And there you go. You have the flying triangle because you have those 4-star leg chokes. No flying armbar because it's 3-star, but you do have that. And the main move that a lot of you are probably going to want to hit, apart from the sprawl position, nice as well. You also have the twister if you want to hit it, but you do have the standing guillotine as well. Standing headlock cage is probably the best position when you've got their back to the cage and you snap that guillotine. But standing guillotine here, you can just snap that on as well. Speaking of combinations, we'll talk a little bit about these. I mentioned a few things you can get in earlier. A couple of shots like this, a lead roundhouse into the body spinning side kick, easy to hit. The leg kick into the lead spinning side kick. The lead roundhouse into the body spinning side kick, also nice. Straight lead hook 360, you're probably not going to use. And the straight lead hook hand plant as well, you're probably also not going to use. But you've got a couple of whiff strike combinations that you can tap into there once you do overshoot. On some of your initial techniques, it's nice because you can use your lead leg a lot, use your lead side kick as well to combo into a lot of your turning side kicks. So there you have it, a basic breakdown and look at the Vanguard in terms of stats, perks, and keys to victory. Let's go have a quick match and I'll try and show off some of the build and its tendencies, and then we can go from there. All right. Okay, and we have a fight here against a GSP, which is pretty good for us. We don't have to initiate the takedown. Hopefully he'll come at us, or maybe he'll use the wrestling to avoid the submissions as best he can. Hopefully things aren't laggy. The fight's restarting. I just want to be able to smoothly showcase some of the Vanguard's abilities and techniques, some of the striking on the feet as well. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. A nice bow right there. So we want to keep the pressure. Let's try opening up with the side kick. And we can go into the turn as well. Oh wow, there's a lot of pressure here. Oh, all right. Hey, so this is why sometimes I don't always recommend spin kicks, because they can be a little inconsistent, and when someone's coming at you like this, it's not going to be helpful to be landing that. Try to use that push kick. I landed that too, and now we can go into the push. Yeah. So again, this is why I'm talking about what's viable, because I'm out of range of that one. Although we have a lot of these fancy techniques and it's great, you know, the wind up isn't great, and when you miss, things can go pretty badly for you. But it's okay. Let's side kick. Again, I'm trying to turn into this. Oh, and just clean combinations. I mean, this guy's just throwing. There we go. Beautiful. Landed that as well. Let's try and set him up for a hand plant here. So if that's the side kick that keeps turning into a knee because of the range. So even right now, I'm trying to throw some of these Vanguard techniques and we just can't because of the distance the opponent's keeping the fight at. Even if I'm trying to side kick and create some space. So like right there, there's unfortunately the wind up on the shot basically means that you get tagged, and we're having a real tough time just creating space even with all these spinning techniques that we have. You know, there's not a lot we could do, so we have to just be careful here. There's a nice little hand plant. Right, let's just shoot this double leg. There we go. And just look to work something from top. Little fake. Get a half guard here. Stop the side. And let's just start cooking them. Let's just start laying on arm triangles and other techniques here. Dude's sub defense is questionable, although with chokes, I've seen people get out of much worse. But we're just going to cook him and really just turn on the sub pressure. Just try and hit a submission from every position that we can. Nothing fancy right now, just the straight arm triangle. It's good. Just constant pressure. Let's do a little fake. Try and hit a leg lock as well. Just as the round's closing out. Not always the best one to go for. I know people like leg locks, but the animation is so long. You're going to have to kind of really fake your opponent out into thinking that you're passing before you do that. So we landed a few spin kicks, things like that on the feet. I don't know if we're at welterweight, but I always feel really slow. Like these spin kicks, although that we have them, it must be just there's a nice 1-2 into the hook kick. The Vanguard as a class doesn't have a lot of kick speed, doesn't have a lot of footwork, so everything you kind of throw does feel really slow. It's not like Edson Barbosa flicking out wheel kicks, you know, so you kind of have to hit and run a little bit more than step in and set up combinations with these things. And like I said, my opponent is being very, very aggressive. All right, we landed that. Let's grab a single leg. That's fine here. Oh my. Oh, grab the overhand, a knee, and let's try and get a little foot sweep, maybe. No. Hey, a nice 1-2 into the roundhouse. There's the hook kick again, and grab the single one more time. All right. Into our half guard. Get a little posture up this time. Work a little bit of that ground and pound. Just nice and calm and patient with it. You can get a little crazy with your ground and pound on this class because you don't actually risk giving up much. When someone, would sweep you or something when you run out of stamina, as you're basically, able to attack from any position here. Let's try and get a little damage out here. Hit the armbar from the side. Oh, I was looking at my sub gauge. All right. A couple more shots to the body. Good work. Not going to give him that. Go back to side saddle. Let's try and squeeze a little armbar in from this position. Always a nice little armbar to hit from side saddle. And, this guy's sub defense isn't great. We could probably finish him with this. But, I'm trying to showcase off as much as I can. I could probably even let him sweep me and try and work a little from the back. I can show you some good fakes from there to set up. We would definitely finish this. Let's let this guy get out of this. I'm not going to touch the controller. Let's see if he actually gets out. He's putting himself back in it. All right, let's let him get out so we can continue to showcase some more subs here. We've got a minute 35. We'll probably get swept as well. No, actually, look at that. Oh, we do. Okay. Now I have to transition quick because I know that he'll be looking for the... So with double strikes here are fine. Little full guard fake, strike, back to full guard. And we can do a little arm fake off the other side. Now that's a great spot for a sub right there as well. We can hit the armbar from the back position here as well. All right, it's 45 seconds. Again, I think we would finish this, but we'll just try and run out the clock with it. That arm fake I went for, he actually tried to transition at the same time, so it just turned into a backside sit, which is pretty good. But once you're on the ground here, arm bars from the back and sides and positions like this, let's just hide one end and let him get out of it so we can maybe put it... you know what, let's finish it. There we go. No problem. All right, you can just keep working the sub game there as well. But from your guard there, you do have rubber guard. Unfortunately, didn't get much to show that. Hopefully, I showed you a little bit on the feet how you can sort of chain into some of your spin kicks. You can just fight really safe and conservative with the Vanguard and just try to outbox your opponent. But, point fight, it's always dangerous when you can get cracked by one shot and it could change the course of the fight. If you are on the ground, don't forget to shoot those singles because they're pretty easy to finish if your opponent's going backwards, which they most likely will be. And once it does hit the map, just keep cooking them, just keep attacking. Attack with the submissions like the arm triangle, which don't give up position. Arm bars, usually you do have to give up, but even if you do, you have a lot of great sweeps from there. Don't forget to hit the L1 down sweep when in that full guard position. That's probably your best sweep to hit from your back there. You also have the rubber guard. Once you've grabbed the rubber guard, transition as quick as possible, unless you're going to learn rubber guard denies, which are left and right or stacked. But not everyone can stack. I think you have to press L1 to stack. But just stay on top of it. And with the Vanguard, hit and run, hit and run. Don't try and knock people out with your spinning techniques. Use it to confuse them, frustrate them, but ultimately, it's a jiu-jitsu class. Anyone that is a better striker than you will piece you up. You have to sink that sub and look for the takedown. So there you go. Enjoy. There's a Vanguard showcase for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you enjoy it. And get out there. Vanguard's super fun. It's so good on the ground. You've got so many attacks and leg locks from different positions. Leg lock from full mount. Unfortunately, we didn't get ourselves in those bad spots, but you get the drift. All right. See you in the next one. Stay tuned for more guides as well.